Howdy folks, still playing the Elite Dangerous Premium Beta. One of the other new things that was introduced in Beta 3, we've already talked about mining in a previous video, was the ability to purchase frame shift drive interdiction modules as equipment for your ships. What these things do is you get close enough behind a ship that's travelling in supercruise, you trigger the frame shift interdictor, you scramble their supercruise engine, you drag them out of supercruise into real space, where you can have your wicked way with them. And there's me interdicted. And whoa, guns up. What the hell? Check my contacts. Whew. It's just a system authority vessel.
Scan detected.
That's one of the downsides of flying around in high security systems. They're very regularly patrolled by the security forces. The price you pay for that is the security forces just love to interdict you when you're on an approach to an orbital, pull you out into real space and do a quick scan to make sure you're not trying to smuggle anything or, you're not wanted. It's a real pain in the arse. But I don't know if you noticed, just as my engine was being interdicted, an escape vector icon popped up. What's all that about? Well, it didn't take long before I'm cruising along, just minding my own business, checking out the system map of the next star system that I'm planning to jump to, and bang, it happened again. And there's that escape vector icon. So, and this is a real struggle. I'm fighting to line the ship up with that escape vector. It's offering me a way out of being interdicted. You see the blue bar and the red bar. The longer I keep the nose of the ship pointed towards the escape vector, the faster the blue bar fills up and the red bar decreases. It's kind of like a bit of a mini game, but you actually have to fight for control of the starship. Your engine's threatening to cut out on you. Come on. Yes! Eat my dust, sucker. It was probably just another system authority vessel stopping me for a routine scan, but better safe than sorry. And the system authority vessels in Federation high security space are rather gung-ho as well. A little on the trigger happy side. Have a bit of a zero tolerance policy towards law breaking. You know, in Megacity 1 if you break the law, you'll do time. In Federation space if you break the law, they'll kill you dead. I don't know what the hell that guy's just done. Look at that. But I'm pretty sure he won't be doing it again. Somebody clean that mess up.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah. Look at him in chat. I was just mining.
Docking successful.
Yeah, look, they're shooting at somebody else. I'll tell you what, it doesn't pay to loiter over your landing pad when you're docking at a Federation orbital. In case it wasn't obvious from watching other videos, they have vastly improved the graphics in Beta 3, particularly of planetary bodies. So, for the next minute or two, just sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the eye candy in Elite Dangerous. But it wasn't all sightseeing and eye candy. While I was playing last night and investigating an unidentified signal source, I came across a wanted pilot flying a Mark III Cobra. That is an expensive ship. It will cost you roughly at least 10 times the price of the Viper that I'm flying. It's a very tough target to take down. The pilot wasn't particularly skilled, but when you've got a ship as tough as this, especially given the fact that my pulse lasers kept overheating, meant that by the time I'd battered the Cobra's shields down, I had to sit and wait for my weapons to cool off before I could fire again, at which point the Cobra was busy regenerating its shields, and I only had a limited window of opportunity between having my weapons cool down and the Cobra getting its shields back up, where I could actually do some damage to the ship. And that's when I had the bright idea of actually targeting the shield generator. And suddenly, life got a hell of a lot easier. The Cobra was dropping mines, by the way. That's the contact that keeps popping up behind it. Made it tricky to stay on the Cobra's tail. I also had to, avoid flying into the mines. Cobra pilot sent a message saying that they were getting the hell out of there, so I switched fire to the drive system. Technically, I suppose I should probably have switched fire to the frame shift drive rather than the real space engines, but I'm still new at this. Weapons have overheated again. Shields are back up. Oh, shields are now down. Scoring hits on the drive. Reducing his maneuverability and his speed. It's just making him an easier target. Actually, it's a her. Her name's Danica. You can see the shields are coming up a lot slower than they were previously. Still having problems with weapons overheating. But I am at least doing some damage. Also note that not all of my weapons are able to fire at the same time. It's because not all of them are mounted on the same aspect of the ship. And I haven't yet quite figured out the perfect attitude to be facing the target in order to get all three guns firing at the same time. I've got two mounted underneath the hull and one mounted on the top of the hull. You can see from this attitude I can only get the top. There we go. I need to be really leading the target a little more in order to get the undermounted weapon systems able to fire. I did actually take a bit of mine damage there. You can see some of my heads-up displays were glitching out as the systems recovered from the mine. Alright, I think I've done enough damage to young Danica's engines. They're not going to be able to get away. Shields are starting to come back up again. My weapons have overheated. She's just dropped another mine. Got all three pulse lasers firing. They've overheated again. She's going to get her shields back up. They're definitely regenerating a hell of a lot slower than they were before. I'm going to go for the power plant. It's already taken some... Ooh, crap. I think I just caught in another mine explosion there. But my shields are holding. I'm going to batter her shields down. She's in all kinds of trouble. With the power plant down, it's going to affect... Well, the power plant isn't down, but when the power plant takes damage, it reduces the power output. So it means she's not going to be able to fire weapons. With combine that with the damage that she's taken to her engines, it means that she's not going to be able to maneuver. I've pretty much got her. I love the fact that you can target subsystems. It makes it so much more tactical than just... I mean, you absolutely can. If you've got powerful enough weapons and the ship that you're targeting is weak enough, you absolutely can just blaze away at the hull and not really care where your shots are going. But targeting subsystems is the way ahead. And I love that this element of the game is in there. Oh, there's another contact just popped up. And I did panic for a second there, but it's actually a system authority vessel. It's come to see what all the fuss is about. There it is. That could have been nasty. I can take on a Cobra Mark III, with a mostly harmless rating and a Viper, no problem, but if somebody else gets involved in the fight, I'm in trouble. And unusually, the system authority vessel is taking its time getting involved. They're not normally this slow to start firing.
Target shields online.
She's got her shields back up. There they go, it's getting stuck in now. Lost a little bit of assistance from the law. Come on.
Rocket shields offline.
This took a long time. And if I hadn't been aiming for subsystems, it would have taken even longer. There we go. It's really, at this point, it's not me doing the damage. There we go, finally got it. A lot faster, with the System Authority vessel getting stuck in towards the end. So, anyway, that was fun, and I learned something new. Target enemy ship subsystems. Makes the fight a hell of a lot easier. And I was thinking about the implications of that for people who are thinking of taking up a career of bounty hunting. But when you're starting out, you can't afford equipment like a frameshift drive interdictor to stop your target from jumping away. Now, those are relatively expensive pieces of equipment, and you're probably not going to be able to afford one when you first start out. But you don't actually need one if the first thing you target is the enemy ship's frameshift drive by using the subsystem targeting system. And I do love the fact that the game is flexible enough to allow multiple different approaches of achieving the same objective, you know, nailing that bounty target. You can throw money at the problem and buy yourself a frameshift drive interdictor, and that will make things more efficient and easier. But if you don't have the money, well, you still have options. Use the subsystem targeting to knock out their frameshift drive so that they can't jump away, and then you can finish them off at your leisure. Well, anyway, that was an amusing distraction, but it's not really what today's video is about. This video isn't called To Boldly Go for Nothing. I've been doing some exploring, and as is usual with me, it happened almost entirely by accident. Allow me to explain and show you the fruits of my labours. To cut a very long story short, I was in the Delta Tango Virginis system on the way to one of the two orbitals in this system. According to the galactic map, this system is a binary star system. There are 2 stars, 1 asteroid belt and 2 space stations. That's it. No planets. Which seems a little strange. What exactly are the space stations orbiting? I mean, they're right out in the middle of nowhere. They're nowhere near the stars. And I could only see 1 star in the system. Where the hell was the other one? And that's when I noticed something. While in Super Cruise on the way to my first target. Did you see that? There's a cluster of lights up there that's moving across the background of the starscape at a different speed to all the other stars, which indicates that they're not actually stars. There's something a hell of a lot closer. Do you see them? Over there to the right of my center point on my heads-up display. Do you see how they're moving? I'm pointing straight at them now. There's something out there. So I thought, well, alright, let's investigate. I don't know what the hell they are, but for them to be visible at this kind of range, I mean, I'm doing 25 times the speed of light here, that they have to be big. Now remember, according to the galactic map, there are no planets in this star system. Oh, really? Yeah, we're going to see about that. No planets, eh? Okay. Challenge accepted. Getting closer. Slowing down. Dropping down to 10 times light speed. Decelerating further. Look at this. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a... How many of these things are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 6. I'm getting so close now that they're disappearing from my field of view. Holy shit, that's a planet, that's a gas giant. That's a dirty, great big purple gas giant. And those must be its moons. Holy crap. Just call me James T. Kirk. Oh man, look at this. I've discovered an entirely new... Wow. There it is. Bingo. Let's get this sucker scanned. This is my planet. There are many like it. But this one is mine. Now, I only have the basic Discovery scanner that comes for free with your starting ship. I did mention in a previous video that the exploration system had been introduced into Elite. You are never going to make a lot of money using the basic Discovery scanner. The basic Discovery scanner only catalogues the most rudimentary details about whatever it is you've scanned. I mean, I've just found and logged a gas giant, so I'm going to calculate its orbit, its orbital inclination, its orbital period, and basic details about the composition of its atmosphere, and that's pretty much it. With the more advanced Discovery scanners, you stand to make a hell of a lot more money when you're cataloguing new planets and new stars like this. Unfortunately, they are really expensive. The intermediate Discovery scanner will set you back around about 500,000 credits. The advanced Discovery scanner costs triple that, 1.5 million. My ship only cost 140,000. But it doesn't take away the thrill of discovery, knowing that you are the first person, possibly not the first person to find this planet, but you're the first person to catalogue it. So, I've done a basic scan of and catalogued one gas giant, brand new planet, fantastic. But I know that this gas giant has 4, 5, possibly even 6 moons in orbit around it because I saw them on the way in. So I need to find them now as well. It didn't occur to me at the time because I was, really excited with the thrill of discovery, but this gas giant is something like 14,000 light seconds away from the star that I arrived at when I dropped into this system. And this is a binary system, so that means that somewhere nearby there's another star as well. Well, I say nearby. We're talking about astronomical distances here. You'd think that it would be relatively easy to find the second star in a binary star system. You would be amazed. The kind of distances that we're talking about here, it's pretty much just another bright light in the sky. And it did prove to be quite tricky to track down. See there, 14,000 light seconds away is the first star in the system. That's where I arrived. That's how far I've travelled to actually find this gas giant and its moon system. Somewhere substantially closer than that, but could still be, 7,000 light seconds away, is the second star in this binary star system. For the moment, the penny hasn't actually dropped. I haven't actually realised that yet, and I'm still trying to track down the moons that I spotted on the way in, but I'm too close to the gas giant. I don't have enough of a frame of reference to be able to spot them with the naked eye. So eventually I realise I'm going to have to power up the frameshift drive, get a bit of distance, turn around, look back on the same approach vector and try to pick them up again, the same way I did on the way in. And it's while doing that that I make a pretty major discovery. Look at that. That's 2 moons, tidally locked to each other, orbiting each other while orbiting the gas giant. Bingo! 2 new astronomical objects. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I was so excited. There is actually a chance that I am not the first person to discover and catalogue these planets. When you go to the stellar cartographics section of each orbital that you dock at, you do have the option of buying astronomical data on whichever star system they have available and updating your galaxy map. So it is possible, because I hadn't done that before, that somebody else had visited this system and had logged these planets and moons before me, but I just never updated my map with the information that they have logged at the orbitals. But there's also a very good chance that I am the first person to ever find. I mean, I had to go right off the beaten track in order to find these things. I'm 14,000 light seconds away from this star system's entry point. The chances that I am the first person to ever lay eyes on these planets and moons is actually pretty good. And that's amazing. Actually, there is a way of checking. If the data that I'm logging is worth anything when I dock at my next orbital and go to sell it at the stellar cartographics section, that means nobody's ever logged that data before. So I will be the first person to catalogue some or all of these. Geez, look at that. That looks incredible. Just, oh wow. This game never ceases. It's just full of moments like this that just take your breath away. Look at that surface detail. People have been asking in the comments, by the way, whether or not you can actually land on these planets. Short answer, no. Slightly longer answer, not yet. Much, much longer answer, you're going to be able to. And you're going to be able to do it, well, I believe the plan is to be able to do it seamlessly. You could do it in Elite Frontier 2, the direct predecessor to this game. You could quite literally jump into a system and from exactly the same distance out that I was, fly all the way here, drop into orbit, descend through the cloud layers and actually touch down 100% seamlessly with no interruptions to the flow of the gameplay and touch down on the surface of a planet. You could do it in the previous version of Elite. The plan is for you to be able to do it, I think it's in the very next expansion that comes out after release. Once they've got the game nailed and released, that's what they're going to be working on next. And that's just going to be amazing. I mean, it's amazing now. I mean, look at this. But to actually be able to fly down from here, to fly down through the clouds, into the atmosphere, and land on the surface, and then, I don't know, take mineral samples, catalog life form, whatever. Oh, it's going to be incredible. But, amazing though this is, I'm not done. You know, there's plenty more that I saw on the way in that I still haven't found and catalogued yet. We're going to have to name these planets as well. I mean, you can't name the planets in the game, but I like to think that we can. The gas giant's going to be Jingles. That first moon, that's going to be Circumflexes. And that one, that's Quickie Baby. There, it's official. I said it. It's the new rule that I just made up. It's the Jingles system, with the moons Quickie Baby and Circumflexes. And there's plenty more moons out there, so let's go and find them. And then I thought I'd just check the map. And the map has updated with the planets that I've discovered. Fantastic. But while I'm not able to name them, the system is naming them. That's Delta Tango Virginus A5, the gas giant Jingles that I discovered. Well, where's A1, 2, 3, and 4? And that star is still unexplored. I haven't found that yet. I haven't found the asteroid belt, and here are the two space stations. What are they in orbit around? Maybe it's cheating slightly, but if the game is naming this gas giant Delta Tango Virginus A5, then Delta Tango Virginus A1, 2, 3, and 4 are still out there somewhere, waiting to be discovered. Not to mention the star, Delta Tango Virginus A itself. That still hasn't been found, so there's still plenty more in this system for me to find. Right now, however, there's still a whole bunch of moons that I haven't yet discovered, so that's my next order of business. And as dumb luck would have it, I spot one right there, silhouetted bright as day, right across the galactic plane. And I'm right on top of it. It was right there. I couldn't see it because there was no light reflecting on it, and bingo, there it is. So that tells me something about where the direction of the star in this system is, because the day side of the planet is on the opposite side from me, which means that the star in this system has got to be over that direction somewhere as well. See, if I hadn't been as giddy as a schoolgirl with excitement at being the first person ever to clap eyes on any of these planets and moons, I would have been thinking logically and thinking to myself, well, you know, if this thing's got a day side and a night side, it has to be receiving daylight from somewhere, so that's the direction in which I'm going to find the local star. But I wasn't thinking that at the time. But anyway, we've got important things to do here. While the Discovery Scanner is doing its thing, we're going to have to come up with a name for this moon, and we're going to call this moon Peppy Pepper. There you go. It's official. No, not Delta Tango Virginus A5C. Peppy Pepper. Say it with me. Oh, this is great. And of course, I mean, that's 3 catalogued. That's the binary moon system, the 2 that were tidally locked to each other, Circumflexes and Quickie Baby, and that's Peppy Pepper. So that's 3. There's more of them out there. So I'm going to have to power up the old frameshift drive and go and find the others, and hopefully I run out of planets before I run out of names for them. And then I found another one. What are we going to call this one? This is the planet Dave. I'm naming this one after all of those subscribers that sent in World of Tanks replays who had unpronounceable names. and I just call them Dave. So, Dave, this planet is for you. All those subscribers who sent replays in who come from the Czech Republic or Romania or Hungary or Poland, you know, countries where then I have real problems pronouncing the names, and I just, because I'm really lazy, I just call you all Dave. Congratulations, you've been recognised at last. You now have a planet named after you in Elite Dangerous. Congratulations. I bet your parents are really proud. But I ain't done yet, because according to the map, Dave is the 5th moon of the planet Jingles. I haven't found the 4th moon yet, and there may even be a 6th and a 7th moon. Not to mention the fact that there's a whole bunch of other planets in this system closer into the star. And for that matter, I haven't even found the star yet, so there's still plenty to do. And then I found another one. This one was going to be a bit of a surprise, actually. But for now, we've got to do the important part. This one is going to be called Foch. This is a Latvian planet. Those of you who don't watch any of my World of Tanks videos, by the way, you know, the guys that are just purely here because they wanted to watch an Elite Dangerous video, you're going to have no idea about the names of these planets. These jokes are going to be flying right over your heads. Sorry about that. So there we go, the planet Foch. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Delta Tango Virginis A5F. That's the 6th moon around the planet Jingles. Still haven't found the 4th one. That's an extra moon that I didn't even know was there. Congratulations, Foch. Although I must say, you are a pretty boring looking planet. Well, anyway, more to discover. Onwards and upwards. Let's get out there and find more stuff. Check the map. There it is. Still a gap there. 1, 2, 3. 4's missing. 5 and 6 catalogued. There may even be a 7th, I don't know. Only one way to find out. It took me long enough, but I did eventually start thinking logically about how to find the 2nd star in this binary system. That gas giant, Delta Tango Virginis A5, or Jingles as I like to call it, has to be orbiting something. So move far enough out that I can actually see the whole orbital plane of the planet, point the nose of the ship right at the middle of it, and somewhere in there there's gonna be a star. I hope that watching this has given you guys some sort of appreciation of the vast scale that's involved in space travel. You might think that it would be relatively easy with the naked eye to spot the star in any given star system. Well, it depends on the distances involved. It's easy enough from the Earth, we're only a couple of light minutes away from the Sun. And when you look at diagrams of the solar system, you know, you get a false perspective of just how big the distances are involved. You couldn't possibly accurately fit a scale map of the solar system onto a book. You'd have a hard time fitting an accurate scale map of the solar system onto a football field. Just to give you an idea of the kind of distances involved, and take a bowling ball, right? That's going to represent the Sun. And you're going to need some place where you can walk half a mile. The other planets in the solar system are going to be represented to scale by things like peppercorns, peanuts, pinheads, and for the really big planets in the solar system like Jupiter, a hazelnut compared to a bowling ball. Then we're going to place them out. Put the bowling ball down, walk out 10 paces. You're now at Mercury. 9 more paces, Venus. 7 more paces, Earth. Going a little bit further now. 14 more paces, you're at Mars. After Mars, you have to walk another 95 paces to get to Jupiter. Another 112 paces to get to Saturn. 249 more for Uranus. 281 more for Neptune. And 242 more for Pluto. You've now walked more than half a mile. The Sun, half a mile away, is the size of a bowling ball. Space is really, really big. Douglas Adams, may he rest in peace, summed it up best in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Space is big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemists, but that's just peanuts to space. And yes, I do realise that I was actually supposed to be cataloguing the 2nd star in this binary system, but when I was on the way in, I spotted something else moving across the background star field. It couldn't possibly be another star, it's far too close. Once again, if I can see it moving, it ain't a star. And now that I'm this close into the 2nd star in the system, I can always pick it up again with the naked eye. This needs investigating. And this is where I really struck pay dirt. This one is the motherlode. This planet has surface water. It has polar ice caps. It has land masses. I can see greenery on the surface. There's life down there. This planet is worth an absolute fortune. Or it would be if, you know, I didn't have the standard crappy discovery scanner. I can't actually catalogue any of the really good shit down there with this basic scanner. Anybody with, you know, the money to buy an intermediate or an advanced discovery scanner is going to make an absolute killing when they come to the Delta Tango Virginis system and do a proper survey of that planet. It's just not going to be me. So, you know, if you do have a good discovery scanner and you do pop along to the Delta Virginis system and you do a proper survey of this planet, show a bit of pity for the guy who found it first and send me a few credits. You're welcome. But I wasn't finished yet. When I was moving in to catalogue the actual star, I spotted yet another 2 very bright objects in orbit around it, and moving in closer to investigate them, another 2 planets. So, bearing in mind that when I arrived in this star system, according to the map, it looked like this, and by the time I was done, it looked like this. And yeah, I do realise that there's one moon of that gas giant that I haven't found yet, but it was getting late and I was tired. I don't think that's a bad day's work. The only question is, how profitable was it? Well, it did cost me a lot of fuel. 1,500 credits just to refuel the ship alone. But pop over to Universal Cartographics, cross our fingers, scroll down, find our data, and is that it? Well, technically I made a profit, but you're never going to make a living doing this with a basic discovery scanner. You do need the expensive equipment to make a career out of exploration, but it was fun. I wasted hours doing this and had a fantastic time doing it. But with a basic discovery scanner, exploring isn't going to be something you do to make a living. It's going to be something that you do to supplement your living. It's fun though. And if you do find yourself browsing the Universal Cartographics section of your local orbital and you see the astrometrical data for the Delta Tango Virginis system, give a thought to me because I'm the guy who put it there. As always folks, take care and I'll catch you next time.